Hello all, and follow me as we explore gender roles in the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. There was a large divide between the genders throughout the tales, with many instances of women being treated severely by men in a very negative fashion. Women were shown to be not as important as men almost at different times, and Chaucer showed this throughout many tales, though he also showed how unity between men and women can lead to a better relationship and better life for everyone. Women were often seen and perceived as the inferior gender between them and the males. Women were domesticated and forced into marriage. They never had the option to choose who they wanted to get married with or mate with who they wanted to. They were also seen to be taken advantage of quite a bit. Throughout the tales, women were shown to be very inferior to men, and this would continue until two tales in particular, the Wife of Bath's tale and the Franklin's tale. Men, on the other hand, showed their dominance. They had it good. They were the kings of the household, the land, the kingdoms. All the tales, besides the two I mentioned earlier, showed a very dominant male figure or figures, which were often suppressing the females in the tales. The males made the females do what they wanted to do, and often the females had to face consequences if they didn't, while the males just got whatever they wanted. It was a very unequal system which was displayed throughout the tales, and Chaucer displayed it very clearly. I feel that's what he was trying to get at with most of these tales and gender equality, that women were inferior to men, yet they shouldn't be. Now let us dive into the great tale of the Knight's Tale and see what it has to show us. The Knight's Tale revolved around two knights, Palamon and Arcite, who from the window of their cellar in jail saw a beautiful princess named Emily. They vowed, once they both left jail, that they would fight a noble fight to win her hand, which was agreed to by the king. But you see, nobody asked Emily who she wanted to marry, if she wanted to be married at all, that is. And yet, these two noble knights who preached that they were noble fought to the death for her hand, even though she did not want to be married to either of them. This shows that women were silenced. They could not choose who they wanted to get married to, yet they were won, like they were some prize, not a human being like they were supposed to be. Now we shall continue to the Wife of Bath's tale, which shows a slightly different shift in power towards women. The Wife of Bath's tale revolved around a knight who raped a woman. He was going to be put to death by King Arthur when King Arthur's wife, the Queen, intervened. This showed that women have more power in this tale than earlier ones. The Queen told the knight that she would spare his life if he could answer her question, which was what women truly want in life. So the knight set out far and wide trying to find the answer, but every woman he came across gave him a different answer. Feeling defeated, he was returning to the palace when he saw an old hag on the side of the road. He asked the hag the question, and she says she will give him the correct answer in exchange for his hand in marriage. So he brought the old hag in front of the queen, and the hag told the queen that all women want in life is power over their lover. This was deemed the correct answer, so the hag was set to marry the knight who was set free from his death penalty. After the marriage, the knight was always sad because he married such an ugly hag. The hag gave him an ultimatum that she could turn beautiful but be unfaithful, or stay ugly and be his wife faithfully. He gave the question back to the hag, saying she does what she wants to do. Since he gave her the power in the relationship, the wife turned beautiful and faithful, and both won. This shows that once a woman has some power, both people will be happy in life. But the fact that the woman had to change who she was, her appearance, and everything she stood for just to make the man happy shows that the women were still inferior to men. Even though the man gave her the power, she still had to change who she was. She just wasn't enough herself to make him happy. Now we come to the final tale, the Franklin's Tale, which shows equality between a man and a wife and the great results of that equality. The Franklin's Tale was a tale of equality, honesty, and love. Arviragus agreed to marry when asked by the people living in his kingdom. He married a beautiful local peasant girl named Dorigen. The wedding was mutual and with equal power, and they both loved each other a great deal. Then Argus had to leave overseas for 2 years. During this time, Dorigen longed for her husband and was very sad. One day at a local gathering, a squire named Aurelius asked Dorigen to be with her and confessed his love for her. Dorigen, being a faithful wife, said no, but eventually, after much hounding, she playfully said yes, if Aurelius could make the rocks on the shoreline disappear. Aurelius agreed, thinking this was serious, and went to a wizard, who agreed to remove the rocks for 1,000 pounds. While this was occurring, Arvigus returned, and was reunited with Dorigen. Then Aurelius came and told Dorigen that the rocks were removed. Dorigen explained everything to Arvigus, and after much thought he told her to go with Aurelius, so she could save her reputation. He sacrificed his own reputation for his wife's. When Aurelius learned of this, he could not bear to break their strong, loving bond, and said she did not have to. In return, the wizard also cleared Aurelius of his debt. This tale shows how equality in a marriage and honesty in a marriage can lead to good deeds. Arvigus married a woman with consent and gave her equal power in the marriage, which created a strong, loving bond and long, loving marriage. This created honesty between the two, which once seen by the other people in the tale was spread to them. This tale shows that honesty, love, and equality can go a long way in life and makes people better for it. People need honesty. With honesty and equality, we are all just animals. We aren't human beings. We aren't different than anything else. We need to be honest with each other, and this is what Chaucer tried to show in this, that women and men are equal, no matter what our looks, our strengths are. We are an equal human being, and working together we could give each other a happy, longing, great life.